Okay, so good morning. Greg Thompson with Accelerate Business Coaching here today, talking with Aaron Stevens of Climb, Iowa. Aaron, thank you for giving us some time today.
Absolutely.
So let's hear about Climb, Iowa. I drive by it 3 or 4 times a day. I actually moved out by your location, and but I haven't been in. So tell everybody what Climb, Iowa is all about.
So we opened in 2008, our original location here in Grimes. We opened a second location in the East Village in 2019. Between the two locations, we have about 13,000 square feet of climbing surface. The walls in our Grimes location go up to 37 feet. We can teach anybody from complete novice to advanced climber how to get involved and how to make it a lifestyle choice.
Okay. So what got you interested in putting together a business like this?
Well, my business partners have been entrenched in the Des Moines community for a very long time, and they always felt like this was something that was missing from the community. So when they opened the business in 2008, first and foremost, it was really for the community, something to give back and a new attraction activity for the Des Moines area.
Okay. So who is your target market? Who is an ideal client? Who is the people that benefit most from Climb, Iowa?
That is the most difficult question for me to answer, because I have members as young as 3 years old to as old as 80. I've seen people do weight loss programs here and lose 100 pounds climbing 8 months and get real involved in it that way. So we don't really have a target market. It is for anybody and everybody that can get their mind into the thinking that they can leave the ground and climb and have a good time. Basically, if you can climb a ladder, you can climb our walls.
Oh, that's kind of a good slogan. So we all know what 2020 was all about. So we just finished up 2021. Do a little comparison from 21 to 20. What all changed in you guys' world?
The biggest thing that changed for us is our daily visitors, those that come in and might climb 1, 2, 4 times a year. We saw them not come in as much. Our groups took a big hit, which isn't a huge segment of our business, but it's still kind of a jumping off point for people that might come for a birthday party and then they're like, hey, I want to get into this more, and they maybe become a member of our climbing team. Or just climb more regularly. So as far as the biggest hit, it was in that infrequent user and then our groups. Our membership stayed pretty strong throughout the last 2 years.
What type of changes did you have to implement for the COVID situation, and then even in 21, as far as just business operations or marketing or with your team, anything like that?
So we were closed for a full month, might have been 2 months. I can't remember. That seems like a decade ago. And since then, we've operated under limited capacities for a little bit. We've had mask requirements. We still suggest people wear masks when they're in the facility climbing, as per the current, recommendations. And as far as business operations, besides that, we haven't really changed a whole lot. Marketing for us has always been very social media oriented. That hasn't changed since that's all internal, and a little bit of TV advertising as well.
Okay. How about in building your team and recruiting? How has that changed over the last couple of years, if it's changed at all?
It hasn't really changed. We did see a downward spiral, maybe middle part of 2021, where we just didn't see the applicants that we had been seeing. So we were definitely hit by the staffing shortage for about, I would say, 4 or 5 months. Since December of 21, we started seeing an uptick in applications and have since, gotten close to the staffing numbers we would like to see. We're still a few shy, but we're much better off than we were in August or September of 21, which was really hard.
Okay. So a lot of businesses that I'm aware of have had to change some of their recruitment conversations, how they do recruiting. Sometimes they have to offer signing bonuses, retention bonuses, some of those types of things. Have you had to change anything that way to build your team or to keep your team?
So we've increased our starting wage for our part-time employees, which is most of our employees are part-time. Right now, I have 6 full-time managers, and then the rest of the positions are part-time. So we did increase our starting wage for those 6 months ago. And we added a few, fringe benefits for those part-time workers as well. But, for the most part, besides those 2 things, we've stayed pretty much the same as since we opened.
Okay. So have you been with the organization since 2008 then?
I have. I am now the, besides my business partners, the only employee that's been here the entire time.
Very cool. Very cool. So with that, that means that you are an expert on successful business. There's a saying there's a saying out there that smart people learn from their mistakes, but wise people learn from other people's mistakes. Is there any words of wisdom then that you could share since 2008 that you think could maybe stop other business owners from making that same mistake or mistakes?
Well, I guess for me is it's interesting to stay in my industry since, climbing does have a specific amount of risk to it. But as far as the business goes, I am very risk adverse. I am very cautious in my planning. I pinch pennies, even before the pandemic. So I think that would be, at least from me, that's what I think I've done. And it's interesting because we joke that, we opened a business in 2008, built on discretionary income during one of the worst economic times since the Great Depression. And then we decided to open a second location right before pandemic. So we've made good so far. So we're hoping to keep on going.
A good test to see if you can survive, huh?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. That's a good job by you guys. So how do people come in and visit you? Can they just walk in? Do they need to make an appointment? Tell everybody how they can use your services.
So you can go to our website and schedule your orientation, which everyone goes through their first time into the facility, or you can just walk in. We offer these orientations every day. They start every 15 minutes. And it's always nice to know people are coming, but it's not required.
Okay. All right. Very good. So any last words of wisdom that you would like to pass on to the public? Anything that you think we did not cover that you would like to get out about your 2 locations or Climb, Iowa?
The only thing I can say is try new things. There's lots of stuff in the Des Moines community. We're only one of those, but don't let yourself be afraid to try something new.
All right. Well, very good. Well, excellent. Aaron, thank you very much from Climb, Iowa. We appreciate your time and stay warm.
Thanks for having me.